What's going on, guys? Jacoborth back here with another video of Jacob's Life in Vegas, coming to you guys again doing another beautiful sunset here in Southern Nevada. Look at this, man. I did a video earlier today out on the strip. It was nice and fresh in the morning. Then I'm like, you know what? Since the sun is setting, I'm gonna come over to this side of the area so you guys can catch this cool sunset. So with the strip and all that in the background, the park here. So we're going to be talking today about something about comps in Las Vegas. That's a big topic for a lot of people, getting comps. And first I'm going to give a big shout out to you, the followers, whether you're here on YouTube or my Instagram or Twitter, because I asked this on these platforms and you guys actually replied and gave me some really good information here. So shout out to everybody who shared. You're going to get your name put on the screen here as I read this. Go ahead, hit the thumbs up button for all of these great travel tips, especially as it pertains to comps coming from my subscribers and my followers. So thank you for that. Now let's go ahead and jump in here. I asked a question, what comps, like what Vegas casinos are most lenient with comping your room? So that was the first thing I asked, and then we just jump into general tips about comps. So Joe Vegas said typically 10% of your action will actually go towards comps. So get yourself a player's card and a casino host so they can track your actual play. Put enough in the system and the comps will come. Michael says the Venetian is the best for getting comps. He says, and if you're an M Life member, you can pretty easily get comped rooms. I was in a conversation with one person named Jen, who talked about charging everything to her room. So I just asked her, hey, you're charging to your room, does it help you get a lot of comps? And she says, yes. She says, if you're already comped and have a player's card, they are paying attention to details. She says, showing your interest in their property beyond gambling gets you noticed too. So what she does is she'll charge a lot of stuff to her room. She doesn't necessarily gamble a whole lot of money, but she will charge stuff, whatever she buys there at the property. She goes to the spa, goes to restaurants, things like that, charge it to the room so it can be tracked and they know that she's spending money there. So which will help her get more comps later. 69 Backspace says, when my partner and I visited Vegas at 3 times a year, we found the Palazzo to be the most generous when it comes to comping your room. Normally offer was 3 nights, $450 slot credit and $150 food credit. Says he loved those trips. He's also Cosmo would offer 3 to 4 nights, but no slot or food credit. When it comes to sharing, Babe Ruthless commented, she said, a tip for the ladies. She said, anytime you're in a casino bar and you see a man aggressively playing video poker with no player's card in the machine, nicely ask him if you can slide yours in. Many hours and thousands of dollars worth of points and comps earned with zero effort on my part, Babe Ruthless says. She says she's never been told no. She's at 100% success rate. So, hey, she found a tactic and apparently she's killing it with it. Luke Reyes, he commented, he said, have family or friends use your player's card to gamble so you accumulate points without you or yourself having to do the gambling. Apps you can use when it comes to helping you get comps here in Las Vegas on your vacation. So some advice we have here from Tish Rigo. So the tip she gives is saying the My Vegas app is a good way to get comps, also playing slots and earning points. She says, we got 2 days at Tuscany and they even waived the resort fee. And with the app, I have enough points for a comp night at Bellagio, Mirage, Luxor, Excalibur, and 2 comp nights at Mandalay Bay. Just pay resort fees. So the app also offers discounts, food, and buffet comps, etc. James Yu also says My Vegas app. Ken says My Vegas app or Win app. This is not easy, but a tool. Forbidden Sweets on Instagram says playing My Vegas on my phone, although it's gambling without spending money. Now, when it comes to players' cards, rewards, points, that kind of thing, for this category, we can be talking about things like Doreen. So she says, use your player's card for your hotel room, for your meals, for your shopping and concerts. So basically, similar to what Jen was saying earlier, she charges everything to the room, or she said use the card. Just make sure that you are being tracked as far as your spend when you're in there. Just so people a lot of times think it just has to be the gambling where you get rewarded, or the gambling is that you just have to gamble more. Well, as if you're just spending in the property, that will help. So if you're getting dinner, right, obviously your room, if you're going to the spa, if you're going to be doing shopping, right, whatever the case is, the more you can show that you spent at the property, not necessarily just in the form of gambling, the more you can get comps. Rick Ellis said playing casino online games is always use your player's card and get on the casino mailing list. That is one too, because I've had people tell me before that they've gotten a comp night at a property just for signing up on the mailing list. That's why I've told that in videos before, right? I've said, hey, if you're coming here to Vegas, and you plan to come back sometime in the future, so get on the mailing list, okay? So you'll get better deals than people who are not on the mailing list offered to you. And then sometimes you can get offered a comp just for signing up and being on the mailing list. So, you know, it can't really hurt if you want to sign up, unless you just really don't, I guess, any email. If you just really hate getting emails. But other than that, you know, you can get more benefit for signing up on an email list than it's going to cost you just to get an email every so often from the casino property. Now, Max said, hey, good question. He said, get the rewards/players cards. He sees shows, eat at restaurants that take it, shop, visit often. Gambling helps accelerate comps tremendously, though. So that's, you know, even with everything else you can spend money on, yeah, gambling's going to be a big one. Okay, that's kind of how these places were built, right? A lot of it came from gambling revenue. B23 says we use our MLife card for everything when in an MGM property. The points add up quick, and we just get our comps via email offers. Says we do very little gambling, a few hundred total over 4 to 5 days is the usual. A few hundred, so arguably less than $100 a day that B23 uses in actual gambling. But because he spends his money on all kinds of other stuff inside the property, it adds up and he winds up doing pretty well for himself. KB, he says this, most of my points are from room charges, meals, and spa services. He says they're stingy with points with table games. So you can lose very quickly and get almost no points because it's based more on time at the table. So hey, KB saying that's how he gets his, really outside of gambling. And you know, in his opinion, he says table games are not really worth it. If you agree or disagree with KB, I would love to hear about that down in the comment section below. For those of you who play table games, or those of you who play slots, why you choose one over the other, that kind of thing. Let's Go Yotes says you can either use a credit card for points, other ways to get a rewards card and charge everything to your room and get those points. So people should always charge to the room for comps, or keep receipts and turn them into the rewards counter. So if you're not going to be you know, using your rewards card, then hey, you're gonna go and show that you actually spent money in the property, so you get credit for it. Bill's Mafia. That says Bill is Mafia. Bill's Mafia. All right, Bill's Mafia. So anytime you buy food at MGM property, take the receipt to the MLife desk, and they add points to your card. Make sure you get your receipt. So the same thing. Get your receipt. Make sure they track that you spent money in there, so that later you can say, hey, I've spent some money in here. I think I deserve some rewards, right? Alternative Saturday says charge everything to your room, even from other participating resorts. So it's interesting. He says from other participating resorts, still charge it to your room. Doug says use your MLife card. It works great for everything except the sports book. So he says then get a lot of good usable offers via email. So he says get the MLife card. Don't worry about using it at the sports book, but you'll get those good offers via email. Quite a few people saying sign up for the email list. Sluter says Cosmo has the best comp program in Vegas. Interesting. He thinks Cosmo's the best. He says every dollar spent on a hotel, food, etc. will get you points you can use for leveling up in their program, and give your credits to use on property as well as comp rooms. Interesting. Grotto Shots says charge everything you can to your room. This is a big one. Charge to your room. Charge. You hear so much about gambling, but all these people who come to Vegas regularly are saying charge to your room, charge to your room, charge to your room. Says other MGM properties will charge to your hotel room if different with ID. So it says receipt will reflect all MGM properties. You check the one you're in and write the room number. So basically saying as long as you're within the MGM's property network, you can still charge it to your room and you still get credit for it. Caesars, I don't know if Caesars works the same way or some of the other properties do, but saying at least with MGM, no matter which property you're in, you can charge it to your room and it still stays within that network, within their company. Awesome Sauce 313 says there is usually a sign-up bonus and status bump when you sign up for an MGM or Caesars card. You get bonus points for using it for certain activities, like using it anywhere at their properties. Also, just signing up for some casinos players card will get you free or discounted stuff, like we were saying earlier. Sometimes just sign up for the card will get you something for free. Signing up for the email list will get you a free night. William Roberts says get an MLife or Caesars credit card and spend inside and outside the property. So good point too. You don't just have to use those MGM or Caesars, the credit card, just when you're at one of their properties. Four Leaf Clover says certain credits offer them as standard perks. Other comments we have here, Frankie Bailey says if you tip the staff well and go a few times a year, staff will magically leave stuff off your bill and give you stuff people allegedly didn't want. All right, Frankie. iBlazin says convention attendees get lots of comps. Ocho Suave says hedge your bets on craps or roulette. He says there are systems that require several hours of play to get comp dinner at the cafe. VGK for life, he replied, said, not necessarily. He said most suits see that and they adjust your bet accordingly. So you pretty much just get credit for buy-in. Then if you're looking for some other things that we can close out here, Mitchell says, save the money you would use for gambling and just pretend it's a comp. That's one way to do it. It's like, just don't gamble and just say, hey, look, I got extra money. Greg Borcher said, trip and fall on the casino floor. Hey, if you want to try that, that's all on you. Las Vegas Cab Line said, bring $1 million to the table. Walk away saying this one doesn't feel lucky. The B Gray 0101 says, insert player's card into machines and walk away with the hope that the next player will not notice. High limit room, of course. And then Macros Phil says, steal Pomsey's mail out of his mailbox. Thanks, guys. So, guys, I appreciate you checking this out. Thanks to everybody who commented and gave all this advice to help other people get more comps when they come here to Vegas. You guys are absolutely awesome about doing that in the comments section, helping each other out down there, giving advice to people to help them improve and enjoy their Vegas experience. So I appreciate all of you for commenting. I appreciate all of you for contributing to this. Thank you so much, because I get to learn a lot from you. Even though I give a lot of information here, I get to learn a lot from you, the people who watch as well. So I appreciate that. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you for being so awesome. I will bid you a good night with one last shot at this sunset here in Las Vegas. That's gonna be it for this video. I'm Jacob, and this is my life in Vegas.